So what do you get in the box when you purchase a double door roller garage door kit? Well, you're going to get these aluminium carriers, and because it's a double door, you will have 8 by 1.5 meter lengths. Now, the reason that we ship them in 1.5 meter lengths is there's only one reason, and that's because with the 3 meter lengths, the damage costs for us have been exorbitant in terms of the couriers damaging the gear. So that's why we ship them. So everybody's doors are higher than 1.5 meters, obviously, so we need to join them. So what we would do is you're going to measure your door and then cut your aluminium to whatever it is, whatever measurement. You will always have between 1 and 2 meters left of material when at the end of the day anyway. So once you've cut your material, you're going to want to join 2 carriers. So the easiest way to do that is to take 2 carriers, slide the brush down about 10 centimeters, and you cut off a strip of brush from one of your spare pieces to about 20 centimeters. I don't know if you can see that there, but that would be 20 centimeters. And then slide that piece of brush in to the one end and slide the piece into the other carrier, and that will give you a seamless fit for your 2 carriers, so you don't have a break in your brush. All right, so that's how you would join the carriers. So that's what you would get in your kit. For a single garage roller kit, it would be very much the same process, except you would just have less material. So with the roller doors specifically, for the top sections, so in other words, 6 of the meter, you'd have 4 of the 1.5 meter lengths in the normal 25 millimeter brush length, and you would then have the other 4 would be in the 50 millimeter. So you can see the difference in the length. Now this longer one is specifically for the lintel, for the top seals, because the gap in the roller doors tends to be wider than in sectional doors, and where the door comes down and this goes into the gap, it requires a longer brush. If you have particular issues with a very badly sort of installed roller door, you can also use these on the sides, but we generally don't recommend it, because if your brushes are too long and they are sitting against a door quite harshly, it may create a bit of friction or resistance to the motor. So these would be for the top as standard, those would be for the sides as standard. What else do you get in the kit? Well, formally, when you opened up the tube, you would receive your lengths of brush, either the 50mm or the 25 millimeter brush on with the carrier. You would have received a seal for the rear of the carrier, so that it would fill up any gaps that might be present between the aluminium carrier and the brickwork. And then you would have received a selection, depending on the garage that you had, whether the lintel was made out of timber or steel, and your walls as well. It could be any of a selection of fixings that would be used. However, all of that is now a thing of the past. So we've introduced the use of SYG's liquid nails, the instant hold, and this is now the only real product or fixing product that is supplied then with the carriers. And this can be attached to timber, attached to brickwork, concrete, steel, and the concrete can even be a little bit damp. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be clamped. So you will receive the carrier with the relevant bristle length, the SYG's liquid nails instant hold, and an instruction manual. And that is the relevant instruction manual, whether it is a roller door or a sectional door. And at the rear of of that manual you will find the new pages which reflect our changeover to the instant hold. We've been asked why we made the switch to the instant hold instead of the physical fixings, and the reason is quite simple. It's easier to install for installers as well for DIY, and it also means that for a variety of surfaces we don't have to worry about mess, disruption really of the particular area due to dust and the other inconveniences that go along with using physical fixings. We have tested it on a number of surfaces, all the surfaces that we think it could possibly be applied to, and it has proved extremely strong. So it's both an indoor and outdoor product. So even if you're fixing to the external lintel, it's not a problem. Just follow the instructions, and for those who may have questioned whether this is strong enough to hold the carriers up, it really is over engineering, because the actual rating is up to 400 kilograms per square meter. The other reason that the liquid nails can replace the EconoSeal that we used to supply is because obviously, being a liquid glue, it automatically fills the gaps anyway, and so you wouldn't have the normal gap that you would get behind the carrier, because this is not only acting as a glue, but it's acting as a partial filler. Obviously, if the gap is extreme, you might need still to purchase a seal, but that would be very, very rare.